What up? Yep, 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 yep. Woo, woo. All right. Attention, Cloud9 shoppers. How you guys doing tonight? Great. Oh, it smells like popcorn in here. That's the best. Guys, we got a wonderful show for you tonight. I'm going to be bringing out the cast of the show Superstore, as well as the creator. And we're just going to have some fun with you tonight. I want to let you guys know, a lot of these panel shows, we kind of just come and they ask questions and stuff. We wanted to switch it up, and we thought it would be fun since we shot the pilot of this show 4 years ago. 4 long years ago, and none of us have even looked at the script for that, so we thought it would be fun to read the pilot script for you guys tonight. You'll get a chance to see all the characters meet each other again, and you'll get to see us forget that we said things that we said. So you guys ready to meet people? All right. Well, please welcome to the stage a guy who none of you will know, but he's going to be out here because he really wants to be, David Bernard, one of the executive producers. Very tall man, very tall man. Now, please make some noise. You know her, you love her as Cheyenne, Nicole Bloom. Everybody's favorite illegal immigrant, Mateo Nico Santos. Oh, you don't want to get on her bad side. Give it up for Dina Lauren Ash. Coming in flossing. And, of course, the wonderful manager, Glenn Mark McKinney. And let's not forget America's sweetheart, Amy America Ferreira. And the creator of the show, the guy who writes it all, Justin Spitzer. All right, that's everybody. So that's everybody, right? We got everybody who, yeah? We should get going. Oh, I forgot, Ben Feldman, he plays Jonah. Oh, man, that one was just for me, guys, just for me.
I tried to stop it.
Nico tried to stop it. So, hey, guys, I've been hanging out with these people for the last couple minutes, and it's been pretty great. They're pretty cool. So give it up for the whole cast of Superstore, guys. So I figure before we dive into the script, maybe we rap a little bit, talk a little bit, maybe share some quick experiences before we get into it. And I'll just start us off with asking you, Justin, what inspired you to write a show about a superstore?
People always, I always feel like there should be a message like, I had this story to tell, and yeah, I had this need to get this out there. And what happened is I had to write a script because they were paying me to write a script. And I wrote a script.
So you were like, what's around? And you were standing at a Target.
Like, yeah.
Like, oh, wait a second.
You just stand in the middle of the street and you do a big circle and you write whatever you. The precipitating event was I was working on a pilot the previous year, and my father-in-law was an attorney at a firm that at the time was litigating a class action suit against Walmart, and he was talking to me about it. And I was like, man, that's a show I really would rather be writing than whatever the hell I was writing at the time. And then next year came about, and that was it.
Awesome. Well, thank you. Thanks for doing that. And America, you know, you are so talented, and you work all over the world. Give it up for America, everybody. Well, you know, and I know when I came on, I was just really surprised that you were going to lend your talents to the script. Not that it wasn't great or anything, but it was, you know, it was a really like it seems like such an ensemble script, and I always wonder like what really drew you to the script to kind of take it on.
Well, Justin assured me that by episode 5 it would be Amy's show. Okay. So, and then didn't make good on that promise. Actually, when I called Justin, I came in late in the game actually, because I think Mark, Lauren, Nico, and yourself were all cast when I got the script. If I knew Ben Feldman was, I would never have read.
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Was I last?
You were last.
I was last.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Just like tonight.
Save the best for last, buddy.
And I remember before I even read the script, I had to go and like do some homework on like who are all these people cast, and I remember just thinking, oh my God, all these people are freaking awesome. Like they're funny, they're real, they're just cool people. And so getting to read the script with your voices and your energies already attached to it made it even sing more. And I remember feeling like, oh, there's really something super special and smart and funny and warm, and did have something to say, even though Justin didn't want it to have anything to say. And I called Justin, and I think Bernad, you were on the call too, and Ruben Fleischer, our other executive producer. And I remember saying to Justin, like, I really like this. I feel like there's so many things that I like. Like, what do you see for the show, you know, as it goes on? And he's like, well, I think it's about a show. It's a show about people who work in a store and stuff happens.
It's poetry. It
Like,
just
that's
went from
literally what you said to me. And
I was really selling you hard. I was like,
yeah, you really wanted me to be on the show, I could tell. But yes, in spite of what Justin said, that's, to me, I feel like the mix of seeing what was on the page, the intelligence, the possibilities of this world, paired with the incredible talent that was already being attached, felt like, you know, I just wanted to come and play.
Awesome.
And then when they cast me,
I'm joking. Sorry, what?
well, how did you react like then when they cast the last actor?
When I cast the last one,
yeah.
That was like the
I was
one
like, I
disappointing.
guess, yeah, we'll figure it
can't
out.
get 'em all, right?
We'll
Figure it out.
reshoot later.
It's just a
There's so
pilot.
many
You
other
can
people,
reshoot
yeah.
a pilot. We were waiting for Zach Quinto to become available
Someone will.
when you.
It would have been a lot taller.
Yeah, pilots are recast.
No, but truly, I mean, even though that it is true that, like, you have to write a show, I did feel like, and I think I communicated this with America and a lot of people early on, that this was an environment that I hadn't seen a show set in, and a class of people, disparate characters. This felt like a good environment for different types of people to interact, which is where you get conflict and where you get comedy. So that's the boring, sweet, whatever answer.
All right. Hey,
Wait, Justin, what was the show originally called?
The show, oh yes.
This is real.
This is real. Well, this is a low concept show, which just means like it's a show set in an environment. That's the term where things happen. It's not like a crazy thing happens, but that's a harder show to sell. It's hard to pitch. As I did to America, it's a show where things happen. So the original title of the show was The Greatest Love Story Ever Told. Where it would the ironic juxtaposition of that set in a store like this.
And when we shot the pilot, it was called American Superstore.
Yeah. that
Why
was the
did we take
intermediate-
the American off of it?
I think so. It would sell internationally.
Really, you didn't think of just calling it America's Superstore? Because that.
So Ben, could you tell the audience a little bit about your thoughts on why good Italian food is the best, but
Is
there's
the
a
whole
ceiling
thing gonna
on?
be a bit?
Huh?
Can you just talk to me like a normal panel person?
Yeah, I'm just wondering your opinions on
We're not
cheeseburgers.
talking about food.
There's a ceiling on cheeseburgers.
There's a ceiling on
I
cheeseburgers.
said that
Italian
about
food
Italian
is
food, not
transcendent.
That's what Ben said.
That was the Ben Feldman quote.
All right.
In
Well, what I was
context-
teeing up is one thing. My favorite thing about the characters is a lot of us are very similar to who we are in real life, and So I guess my question for you, Ben, is how obviously you've really made Jonah kind of yourself in that character.
Why is that funny?
But tell me a little bit about approaching the character from the first script that we're going to read right now to where you feel he is.
Well, I don't think I really did any work. I think the scripts. What happens when you're on a show that's on for a long period of time? If you're me, I guess I can't speak for everybody. Is inevitably scripts just read like 30-page roasts where they're just kind of making fun of you and the things you say and do. And so I really just kind of sat back and just read the lines, and the lines just started becoming more and more things that I say or do or think. So yeah, I've done nothing.
You make it so easy.
Yeah, no, well, yeah.
Effortless.
It is. It's very, very easy. I have a really easy job.
But definitely give it up for that Peanuts hoodie that he's wearing, huh? The Charlie Brown
it's
Peanuts
all
hoodie.
the characters from Peanuts.
Pretty dope. Hey, Mark, one question that people kind of ask me all the time is kind of where'd the voice come from, the origin of Glenn's voice?
My days on Sesame Street, playing Kermit the Frog. No, I got the script. I was in Toronto, and I read it, and it was really funny. And I had a character I'd done or sort of played with many years before. It was very dour and wasn't as positive or as deeply feeling as Glenn. But the second I just sort of upped it into this range, all this like. It's like it went from black and white to color, and so I just went to, I'm in. I didn't question it. I didn't think there would be any way I would ever be able to. I mean, I was surprised because I sent out my tape and I didn't hear anything for 2 months, and I thought, well, of course, I was an idiot. I should have worked it harder, and then I got the job. So pretty good.
Now, Lauren, Dina is a big fan of birds, and that's a big part of her character. And I know that recently you actually did falconry, or.
Yeah. A friend of mine, she was like, I have this Groupon, and it's for a falcon, hawk, owl experience in Orange County. And she literally said, I can't find anybody to go. Will you take this ticket? And I was like, sure, yeah, like I'll do pretty much anything. So I was like, cool. And then it was like, I told somebody about this, and literally there was like a pause and a look, and they were like, so you're becoming Dina? And I think the thing that was the most troubling to me is that it had never occurred to me. I literally was like, wow, a hawk is gonna land on my arm. So that's troubling, yeah.
Nico's had a wonderful year. Give it up for Nico, everybody. And Nico did a show last night. Was anybody at Nico's show last night? Amazing. If you see any stand-up dates coming up for Nico, you got to go check them out. It's amazing. But you actually have a really fun origin story on how you tried to prepare for the show. Could you tell us a little bit about that?
How I prepared for...
Like when you were like, oh, I'm going to be working at a Superstore?
Oh. I mean, well, it was actually Nicole's idea.
Oh, okay.
She was like, we have about 3 months or before we start filming the pilot. I think I'm going to apply at Target. And
I went to theater school, and so I
she's
took
very
acting
method.
very seriously
Very
before
method.
the show.
And I was like, there is a Target near my house. You know what? I'm going to do the same thing. So I walked into Target, and at the time they have the application center, the computer right by the door. I'm like, you know what? I got 8 years of working retail in San Francisco. I was a retail queen in San Francisco Union Square for 8 years. So I'm like, I got this, bitch. I got all the experience. I sat down and filled out the application for like 45 minutes. I'm like, I'm just gonna wait for that phone to ring. They're gonna give me a job. They're gonna give me a job. And then I got an email like a week later saying, we can't offer you a position. It's just now. Apparently, I'm not target material. So that was.
Do you know why? Like, what about why weren't you material? Why weren't you right for Target?
I guess I was just overqualified or something.
Yeah.
Nicole, give it up for Nicole, everybody. In comedy shows, one of the hardest things I always feel like to do in comedy is to play somebody who's not necessarily the smartest person. It's a very challenging, you'd think, oh, that's easy. They're just playing a dumb person. But it actually is one of the more challenging things to do in comedy. And so could you tell us a little bit about approaching Cheyenne and how, you've turned her into this character? I think everybody loves Cheyenne, right? She's the best. So a little bit about how you kind of approach her comedy, the sort of the dim-wittedness of her.
Well, truthfully, I don't find it that challenging, I guess. But I don't know. Her and I are like similar in a lot of ways. We date a lot of questionable men, say yes to marriage proposals, kind of, haphazardly. I've never been pregnant, but yeah, I don't know. I don't think I'm so different from Cheyenne, but it's nice that you think I'm more intelligent than she is. Thank you.
Nicole is very intelligent. She's trying to fool you guys. And Bernard, what are you doing here?
Who? I have not met this guy on the end. Who is this?
Just hanging out.
So could you tell us a little bit, though, from your end, producing, kind of stepping in and doing that, what brought you onto the project? Why did you get excited about it?
That's a great question. Actually, Justin, I met well before, I guess, we did this, and I was pitching him a bunch of bad ideas, and then a couple of weeks later, he came in and pitched me this, and it was one of those things that, you hear a lot of pitches as a producer, and it was like right away, like that's a TV show. And Justin's one of the most humble people you will meet, but he really had all the characters in the world and the ideas fleshed out. And I think it was kind of a no-brainer. And I think when we went in and pitched NBC, to their credit, they called us right after and said, this is the best pitch we heard this season. And then when they read the script, they said, this is the best script we read all season. And I think we were the first show they picked up during pilot season. So
awesome.
A lot of
all
credit
right,
to
well,
NBC.
hopefully they'll pick us up soon.
Yeah.
Colton, is there a question you would like to answer?
Is there? Well,
Will you ask yourself
you guys have a
question?
question? I ask myself
That's
a
yourself.
question.
What do you want to know?
Question.
No, I don't.
Well, that bombed.
Well, there we go.
No, I do have a
question for
question.
Colton, huh?
Colton, when we started Superstore, you were writing on Key and Peele brilliantly.
Yes, I was.
You're an Emmy winner.
You are an Emmy-winning
The
writer.
show won an Emmy, yes. There's
Yes.
nothing in my house, but yes.
And I remember asking you up front, like, oh, do you want to, write on the show? And you were like, no. Back then, that's how you felt. But what was the process from going from being sort of primarily a writer on a comedy show to then just getting in front of the camera and not being a part of creating the words or creating the world and just interpreting as an actor?
Well, one, the dollar signs. Writing on a cable comedy show is a little bit different than what I make now. But all joking aside, though, it wasn't that a big of a difficulty for me because the way that, Justin runs the show, and as you guys all know, and we've kind of talked about it a little bit, we really have a lot of control over our characters. And so even though I'm not necessarily in the room writing the episode, when we're on set, we're still, the shows are still being written. The process never ends. It doesn't end at the table read. It doesn't end, when we start shooting that week. It's an ongoing process that goes all the way through to the editing. And, as a couple of both America, Ben, and Mark have all directed an episode of the show. And as you guys know, the writing still continues in the editing bay.
So are you saying that you fixed Justin's bad writing?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So when it
Just
gets
to
to
be
me,
clear.
basically I go through, I tell everybody what they should say instead. But speaking of the scripts.
Wait. One thing to add is that you'll be writing one towards the end of the season.
I will be writing an episode for the show at
Change
some
it.
point. So look out for that.
And Lauren wrote
did
an
last year.
episode.
Lauren wrote an episode as well. And we have an episode right here that I'm thinking that we might want to read. What do you guys think?
Yeah.
All right, so this is going to be fun. Obviously, there's a little bit of level of difficulty here. We're usually at a table when we read a script. We're not at a table, so we'll be using it like this.
We're usually not holding microphones.
We're usually not holding microphones, and we're usually sweating profusely and hoping that we don't get fired after the read.
Still?
Still, man.
By him.
And then after we read this, we're going to open it up for a little bit of a Q&A. So you see this microphone down here. While you're listening to us read this, if you have some ideas of a question that you may want to ask anybody on the cast or the cast as a whole, we'll bring you guys up one at a time to that little microphone, and you'll get to ask questions. But before we begin, we got one more special surprise.
Uh-oh. Wait, what?
Do we?
What is
Well,
something
there's
else?
another character in the Superstore universe that is, I think, probably one of our more popular
Oh, yeah.
characters.
Was this character in the pilot?
And it's not Sandra.
She wasn't in the pilot.
Wasn't in the pilot.
She wasn't in the
About
pilot.
She wasn't in the pilot.
So shut up,
up!
Sandra. But please welcome to the stage a hilarious guy. He plays Bo, Johnny Pemberton.
Denied. Denied. Oh my God,
Yeah.
that's amazing.
It's
We
work.
should just.
They want you to do it. Oh.
I feel like we have to say that our crew, that has largely been the same crew since season 1, non.
Oh, they're constantly doing that. Constantly. All right. So
This is a cool thing, though. Like, this is just so you guys know. We haven't read this in 5 years or so.
4.
That's right.
We didn't like get together and read this or anything. So this is as weird, if not weirder, I think, for us. And it's going to be really cool. Like, it's an exciting. Like, imagine if you had like a group of friends who all just got together one night and reenacted the very first conversation that you all had together. That's essentially what this is. So it's kind of a bizarre, surreal thing that I'm excited
All right,
about.
so I want everybody
I hope this show
in the
makes
audience
it.
to close your eyes. Close your eyes, and I'm going to count to 3, and when you open them, it will be Superstore
Also,
pilot.
one
written
other
by
thing.
Justin
There's
Smith.
one other thing. I'm playing other characters.
Yes, I was-
Oh yeah, and Dave's gonna.
Okay,
Dave, who does not
sure.
act, is gonna act.
There's
tonight.
going to be other characters. So at one point, Lauren is going to be reading a different character.
Yeah.
She'll probably
2
change
points.
her voice a little
There's 2
bit.
times.
Don't go
Yeah.
like, oh no, why is Dina talking like that now?
Yeah.
She's playing a different
She's an actor.
character.
Yeah.
And Bernard is going to earn his keep tonight. And
It's
he
gonna
is
be
gonna read a
incredible.
part
Not an
in-
actor yet.
Can I ask one more question?
Yeah, one more question.
I wanted to know if there was anyone in the audience who has never seen Superstore. Yes! Okay.
Great.
I love
You're
it.
starting at the beginning.
This is for you. The rest is bingeable on Hulu and the NBC app.
Well
You're
played.
welcome, NBC. And who here has seen the pilot of Superstore? Okay. All right. I just wanted to know that from my purposes. Go ahead.
All right. Very good. So again, close your eyes. I'll count to 3, open them up, and here we go. 1, 2, 3.
I feel this is a lot of expectations. Okay. We come into the cold open in Cloud 9 establishing shot. We're in Cloud 9, a national chain of big box retailers. I've already screwed it up. Under what sounds like narration, we see shots of people shopping in some of the different departments.
The American Superstore. One-stop shopping for everything you could ever want or need. Do you want to be thinner?
In fitness, a woman jogs on a treadmill, which is on a second shelf display.
Do you want to be fatter?
In grocery, a man lifts a giant tub of ice cream into his cart, which is already full of junk food.
Happier?
In toys, an incredibly cute girl, because it was played by my daughter, puts a toy in a basket.
Sadder?
In cosmetics, a goth teenager paints his lips black.
Are you looking for friendship?
In electronics, several St. Louis Cardinals superfans, faces painted, watch a baseball game on a display of televisions and cheer.
Or solitude?
A man wearing only tighty-whities stands by a washing machine, which is washing his clothes. We're at the
Or even love?
And we see a cheap, low-quality engagement ring, and we see employee Amy showing it to a deadbeat 19-year-old Bo.
That's actually a cubic zirconia knockoff. It's called Plasticlear.
Bo points to a sign which reads engagement rings, $8.88 to $10.88, $10.88.
What happened to the $8 ones?
Real quick.
Sorry, I'm just cracking. Yeah, we're all sold out of those. Sorry, but this one's only $2 more.
Yeah, I get it. You advertise the cheap jewelry to get the suckers in the door. You push the expensive stuff. Pfft.
Well, I wouldn't use the word suckers or expensive or jewelry.
Fine, whatever. I gotta stand in line for cigarettes anyhow.
Great. I hope you and your fiance are very happy together
Bo walks off of the ring.
and that you don't procreate. Glenn, I'm taking a mental health break.
Reveal manager Glenn gives a smile and a wave.
Okay, have fun now. Reflect.
And we cut to the garden section where Jonah, 23, boyish charm.
There it is. I was waiting for that.
23.
Boyish charm.
Sits at a table across from assistant manager Dina. She's glancing at his job application and up at him, obviously very attracted.
Just checking over your new hire forms, American citizen. Nice. No dependents, me neither, unless you count my birds. Just doesn't say anywhere on here if you've got a girlfriend.
I didn't. Is there a space for that?
There's this section here. Is there anything else we should know? Some people like to volunteer it.
Oh, then also no.
No. No, okay. Well, I will just jot that down then. But you are heterosexual, right?
Are you allowed to ask that?
No.
We got to personal care where Amy, now wearing a jacket over her vest, approaches a toilet paper display. A customer grabs a roll from the middle. The whole thing tumbles down. He walks off. Amy calls after him.
Very smart. We always keep the best rolls right in the middle.
She sighs and starts restocking. A guy who seems to be a customer, Jonah, wearing a jacket, holding a messenger bag, starts helping her.
Oh, wait, no. Let me help you with that.
No. I'm fine.
No, it's fine. It's fine. I work here. It's like my job to help customers, so.
You work here? Since when?
Since right now, it's my first day, so.
Oh.
I know. I don't seem like the kind of person who would work like in a place like this.
Amy realizes the misunderstanding, decides to toy with him.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that is why I was so surprised. I was like, what?
What? Yeah.
Him?
Yeah. What's he doing cleaning up toilet paper? Yeah.
I mean, I think it's because you have this very intelligent, educated, more cultured quality. I mean, compared to.
She gestures to 6 months pregnant teenage employee Cheyenne.
Oh yeah. Look, I get that you're complimenting me, but it might sound a little condescending. So
Oh yeah, no, thank you.
Yeah.
No, I wouldn't want to sound condescending in front of someone who works here.
Right. Yeah. No, right. Yeah.
Cheyenne walks up.
Hey, can I run out for 2 minutes? This thing is kicking my bladder like it owes him money.
Yes,
Oh,
Cheyenne,
you know
of
what?
course.
I'm
I'll
actually
take
not
Carly
in
off
charge.
Express and Vivian can bag, so take as long as you need.
Thanks.
She runs off. Jonah looks wide-eyed at Amy as she takes off her jacket, revealing the vest.
Little tip, don't let the other workers here know how much better than them you are. They hate that. I don't know why. Maybe because it sounds condescending. Welcome.
She walks off, leaving Jonah at a loss.
I'm.
And Jonah knocks over the stack of
No.
toilet paper.
No.
And we cut to the opening credits. And we come into Act 1, and we used to call it the multi-purpose room. It's a break room. Dina stands in front of the room full of employees, holds a small box in one hand.
All right, campers, listen up. I've got an important announcement. This is your garden variety generic decongestant.
She holds up a baggie with her other hand.
And this is crystal meth. Okay? The tweakers use this to make this. So stop selling them this so they can't make this.
That guy told me he had a really bad cold.
He was buying 35 boxes, Cheyenne. Okay, that should have been a red flag. All right, use your noggin.
She nods to Glenn. Back to you.
Okay, well, let's thank Dina for that helpful tip of the day. Thank you, Dina.
Hold up, man. Am I the only one who thinks it's weird that she's walking around with a bag of crystal meth?
As Glenn continues, Jonah leans over to Amy and whispers.
Hey, listen, I I think there might have been a misunderstanding. I'm not an elitist, so.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Elitist? What does that mean?
Well, it's like a person who thinks they're better. You know what elitist means.
Oh, yeah. They learned that to us in public school.
Anyway, I am so proud to welcome 2 new angels to our Cloud9 family. Why don't you two introduce yourselves?
Jonah stands.
Okay. Hello, everyone. I'm Jonah, and I am excited to be here. This is going to be fun. So,
Mateo jumps up.
My name is Mateo Fernando Aquino Liwanag, and I am here to make something of myself. Spread my wings out and see how far I can fly. Woo! Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
There's a beat as people look back to Jonah, who stands once again.
I too would like to see how far my wings can fly as well. So
He sits again. Amy smirks.
Saved it.
thank you. Thank you.
Glenn takes out a small black book.
Now, I used to end these meetings with some wisdom from the good book, but then someone reported me to corporate.
Heck yeah, I did. Look, I'm a Christian too, but in these 4 walls, my Bible is the employee code of conduct.
And we all thank you for it.
Yeah, you're welcome.
I pray for you, Dina.
I pray for you too, Glenn.
No, I'm praying right
I'm
now.
praying
I'm praying
so
No,
hard.
I am praying harder than you. I am praying harder than you because I know how. Anyway, to welcome our new employees.
He closes the book, takes out his cell phone, presses play. We hear the theme from Jurassic Park. Faint and tinny.
Welcome to Cloud9.
This is my jam. This is my jam.
And in the patio section, as the theme plays, instead of brachiosauruses, it's a group of overweight shoppers driving motorized carts herd-like across the floor. We go to the small appliances aisle. Garrett, holding a couple boxes on his lap, wheels up alongside Jonah.
Hey, do we have any kind of training? I've just been kind of wandering from one department to the other, trying to look like I have purpose.
Yeah, it works better if you carry a box.
Tosses in one of his boxes. It's just empty.
There you go. See? You learn as you go. Look, my man, only a couple of things to remember. Always show up on time, don't steal, and stay on the floor supervisor's good side.
Who's the floor supervisor?
Garrett points to Amy. Jonah's face falls.
I got to go get another box.
Cut to electronics, where Amy's scanning items with a PDA. Jonah walks up.
Hey, can we start over? I'm Jonah, as you know, and you're...
What's your name tag?
Ramona.
Nope. That is not my name. I just don't like random strangers using my name like we're buddies.
Right. Like, you know, like how hookers don't like to be kissed on the lips.
Did you just compare me to a hooker?
No.
You look bored. Let me help you with that. All electronics are supposed to be 25% off, but our POS system is down, so you scan, hit reassign, enter, override, yes, reduce, 0.25, enter, yes. You are not paying attention.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Confirm, enter, yes. Got it?
If I guessed your name, would you tell me if I was right?
But then Amy spots Bo approaching Cheyenne, getting down on one knee, and she runs off wordlessly.
Take this.
Oh, it's so pretty.
Jonah calls after.
I'll make a list.
And in the bike area, Amy speed walks over where Bo is proposing. An uptight lady, this will be Lauren, catches up to Amy holding several bottles of pills.
Excuse me, miss. Do you know the difference between a stool softener and a laxative?
I'll be right with you, ma'am. Cheyenne, what is going on?
My boyfriend just asked me to marry him.
I don't want it soft. I want it out of me.
I hadn't realized earlier that Cheyenne was the lucky girl that you would be proposing to.
Yeah, well, you know, I knocked her up, so my dad says I have to.
So romantic.
That's how I do it, yo. 100% love.
Bulking agent? Why would I want more bulk?
Ugh. Cheyenne, you didn't say yes, did you?
Why wouldn't I say yes?
Amy takes her aside.
Cheyenne, look at me. I know how easy it is to get swept up in
Looks at the surroundings.
the romance of all of this. But please just think it through, okay? Don't do something that you're going to regret for the rest of your life.
Cheyenne takes this to heart, as does the uptight lady who reconsiders her pill options.
Yeah, okay, I'm gonna sleep on it.
Cut to the baby department where a baby jumps in a playpen high on a second shelf. I think that was Ruben's daughter. Yep, yeah. At electronics, Jonah seems to have figured out the PDA. He's feeling pretty good about himself, spinning it as if he's a gunslinger. He spots Mateo pushing a cart nearby.
Hey, I think I got it down.
No offense, but you're actually my competition, so I'm kind of actually rooting for you to fail.
Mateo moves on.
Okay, thanks, bye.
Jonah glances down the aisle, sees Amy talking to Glenn by the garden section. He holds up the PDA triumphantly.
Hey, I figured it out.
Amy gives him a look like, fine, that's your job. Further down the aisle behind her, Dina sees Jonah waving at Amy. She checks behind her. There's no one back there. Concludes he must be waving at her. She waves back demurely. Angle back on Amy and Glenn.
We need new shelf flags for the end caps, but we should check the DCPIs first because last time...
They start to notice a number of customers walking past them with carts overflowing with high-priced electronics.
What's happening?
Could it be a race riot? It's so hard to tell in the early stages. It could be the rapture, but then why am I still here?
Amy glances towards electronics, where Jonah's repricing and quickly filling with activity. In electronics, she hurries through a throng of frantic customers.
Hey, I am killing it over here.
You're only discounting everything 25%, right?
Yeah. Scan, reassign, yes. Override, yes. Reprice, point.
No. Reduce.
Huh?
Reduce 0.25. Reprice 0.25? That would change everything to 25 cents.
And they look at the frenzy of customers clearing the shelves. Amy turns, sprints off to the front.
Shut it down! Shut it all down!
And we fade out of Act 1, come back in the next act. At the cash registers, Cheyenne's checking out a customer who's buying a top-of-the-line printer.
If you sign up for our Heavenly Shoppers program today, you'll save 15% off your purchase, which would drop your price to 25 cents.
Stop selling everything. Shut it down. Shut it all down. Sir, you need to stay right there. Frank, nobody leaves.
She runs past the cashiers out to the parking lot. We see Frank, the meek security guard, turn to face the throng of customers, fear in his eyes. Go out to the parking lot. The soccer mom, or a minivan packed with merchandise, is trying to escape before anyone stops her. Amy runs out.
Ma'am, I'm sorry. I'm going to need to recheck some of these items.
No, thank you. Bye-bye.
She tries to shut the door. Amy grabs it.
No, I'm sorry. I can't just let you leave with a whole basket full of 25-cent tech. Ow!
Mom throws a laptop at her.
I have more where that came from, lady.
Oh! No, I do not think so.
Go to the intercom area.
Attention shoppers, due to an employee error, very expensive electronics are pricing out at 25 cents. This mistake is being corrected, so stock up quick. Go, go, go. Get your stuff. Get your shit.
We go to electronics. Jonah's trying to explain what's going on to a man with a very full cart who is speaking Hindi, but Dave is going to do the English translation right now.
But imagine it being in Hindi.
Yeah.
No.
Please, sir, I don't want any trouble.
What, no, what
I would
I'm
like to
trying
pay
to
for
say,
these.
no, this
An iPad for my
this
daughter.
Is not
My wife wants a
25
Samsung
cents,
Galaxy.
sir. No,
I have money. I am a good person.
No 25.
We go out to the parking lot. Amy's trying to avoid laptops, tablets, iPhones that the soccer mom's hurling at her.
It touched my car. It's mine.
No, that is not a thing.
It is a thing.
In the garden section, Mateo's kissing up to Glenn as customers team past.
I don't want to be that guy, but if you had to compare my performance versus Jonah...
Okay.
Intercom area.
Yeah, you better hurry up, girl. You better get that TV. Come on, girl.
The entrance, customers are swarming to leave the store, about to overpower Frank.
Stop, please, I'm begging you.
Electronics, Jonah's still speaking to the Hindi-speaking shopper, who is showing Jonah his wallet.
Yes, she's very pretty. Yes.
Go out to the parking lot. Amy's trying to grab the cart full of merchandise back. Their soccer mom grabs her waist.
Ow! Ow! Frank!
You don't want to do this, please.
Dina steps up, fires a shotgun into the air.
Sale's over!
We go to the break room a little later where Glenn stands in front of the room.
There's no need to identify whoever it is whose fault this was. We can all learn a lesson here.
Would that lesson be not letting Jonah reprice inventory in the future?
It might be, yes. All right. Punctuality, okay? I do not tolerate it because I do not tolerate it in myself. I am an angry man, so I get places early.
As he speaks, Jonah's humiliated, looks around the room, makes eye contact with Amy and mouths sorry. She shakes her head but gives him a small smile, which makes him feel better. It works better on screen. He leans over to Garrett, whispers,
Hey, do they allow employees to date supervisors?
I don't know why.
Just curious.
and Dina, sitting in back of them, overhears this, thinks she's talking about him. She blushes nervously.
Let's always remember the customer is always right.
And we go to the hardware aisle. Dad pushes a stroller loaded with products. Beneath the items, we see the legs of a child poking out. Go to another grocery area. Jonah's on a stepladder stocking cans. We don't yet reveal how he's stacking them.
Hey, what's your name? Check it out.
I was wondering what was taking so long to stack a few cans.
And reveal that rather than stock them in order, he's created a mural of an emoticon sad face.
I wanted to reiterate how sorry I am about before.
And when a customer wants a can of ginger root beer and the whole thing collapses on top of them, how are you going to feel then?
He points at the sad face. We got to Jonah and Amy walking and talking.
I was just trying to have some fun.
Yeah, this might just be a cultural thing, but around here, the less screwing everything up you do, the better.
Are you talking about the cans or the pricing thing?
You see, the fact that it's your first day and there's already more than one option of things you've screwed up is not a good thing.
Okay, all right, okay. I've made some mistakes. I can admit that, but that doesn't mean we can't have a little fun at work, does it? Or try and find some moments of beauty in the everyday.
Wait, I'm sorry. Did you really just say the phrase moments of beauty? Like conversationally?
Okay, all right, okay, yes, that's cheesy, but do you remember American Beauty? Huh? Even a plastic bag can be breathtaking.
We're passing the checkout aisle. He grabs a plastic bag from the bagger, tosses it into the air, hoping for an American Beauty-like transcendent moment. They watch as the bag drifts down to the floor in a totally mundane, non-transcendent manner.
Wow. That really blew my mind. Like, I have goosebumps.
Okay, I felt something.
The bagger picks up the bag.
The bagger was Brett.
Brett,
Oh yeah,
yeah,
that's right, the bagger was Brett. I'm Jonah. It's my first day.
Jonah walks quickly away. In housewares, two customers try to pass each other in the aisle. Our carts bump. At first, they smile at each other. They realize they can't get by. They crash their carts into each other harder and harder. Cosmetics counter. Cheyenne's giving a makeover to Dina. She struggles as Cheyenne does her eyes.
Okay, stay still.
I don't usually wear eyeliner. Sharpie occasionally.
So, tell me about this special guy.
Okay. Male, Caucasian, no discernible scars or tattoos.
Sounds dreamy.
Yeah.
You know, speaking of boys, I got a pretty big decision to make. My boyfriend,
I'm glad we could bond like this. Thank you.
She gets up and walks away. In women's apparel, Amy is walking through the store, and Mateo catches up to her.
Excuse me. Hi. I hung up everything that was in the dressing rooms, and I organized it by style, color, size, and relevance of designer.
Amy looks around the insanely meticulous job he's done.
Wow. Good job.
Well, I enjoy hard work. It's just like my mom always said, if you don't work hard, baby, Jesus will cry.
Okay.
I don't think I could be happy fooling around in a parking lot like the other new guy. Yeah.
And we smash cut to the parking lot. Mateo leads Amy outside where Jonah and Garrett are sitting in shopping carts using mops to propel themselves through an obstacle course.
Slow down. This is not fair. You have more experience on wheels than I do.
Your disability is not my concern.
Okay, seriously? The only thing I asked you to do was put the carts away.
That's what I'm doing, just somewhat circuitously.
See you later, sucker.
Are you trying to get fired? What if Glenn sees this?
Coming through!
Glenn comes through on his cart.
That does not count.
She jumps out of the way as Glenn flies past his own car. He coasts into the return corral, breaking a finish line made of Dora the Explorer streamers.
Go, Glenn! Yeah, in your faces! Your faces! In the faces of your faces!
Amy simmers. Jonah wheels up in front of her with a shrug and a smirk.
Okay, I get it. You're the fun guy, and I'm the stick in the mud. Well, I could be fun. I could have fun. Let's have fun.
Of course you could have
Woo!
fun.
We're playing at work.
With that, she shoves his car careening into the parking lot. Jonah screams.
No, no brakes. I have no brakes. No.
And Jonah crashes into a parked car. Amy and Mateo react.
Oh.
We come into the next act. In the baby aisle, where an adorable 2-year-old, once again my daughter, sits patiently on a potty right in the middle of the aisle. We got to seasonal items. Jonah's angrily scanning back-to-school items. Amy walks up, contritely hands him a bouquet of assorted flowers.
Peace offering.
Are these the flowers that I picked up off the floor of the garden center? Yeah. They're very beautiful trash flowers.
Look, I'm sorry, okay? I've been having a long day. Well, 10 years of long days, actually.
He doesn't respond. Amy picks up one of the items he's scanning, a giant box of glow-in-the-dark stars.
You know, I stock these glow stars every single year for the back-to-school sale. And then I take them down and I put up the Halloween inventory. And then Thanksgiving and Christmas and Valentine's Day and Easter and 4th of July and then back to school again.
Huh. That sounds incredibly not fun. I see why you love it here.
It's a good job. But tomorrow is going to be just like today, and I know that because today is just like yesterday. So sometimes it's just kind of hard to find those moments of beauty.
She smiles glumly as she hands him the box of stars and walks off. Jonah looks at the box, thinking. We cut to outside the store in the evening, an establishing shot of the store at night.
Attention shoppers.
In the entrance area, a cloud-themed wall clock reads 10:50 p.m.
Even a big box store has to close.
In the freezer aisle, an elderly couple slow dances to their song.
And it's about that time.
In the home section, Elias is fast asleep on top of one of the beds on display.
You know, when Pandora closed her famous box, there was one thing left inside.
In the intercom area.
Hope. I wonder what will be left inside of this box. Could it be Grace? Well, I hope not. If you're Grace's parents, please pick her up at customer service.
Gives a thumbs up to a young girl sitting nearby. Go to the front of the store. Jonah climbs down from a ladder, approaches Amy, who's standing with Mateo.
I took the initiative upon myself to reorganize the toy section for the convenience of adult shoppers. It was just feeling overly whimsical, so...
I wanted to show you something I've been working on.
Oh, you were working? Where? Because I've been in every single department. I haven't seen you in a couple of hours, unless you were like in the break room or something.
Before Jonah can respond, a masked gunman walks into the store, jumps up onto a checkout counter.
Everybody get down! Get down on the fucking ground! Get down! Get down! Touch the ground or get out!
It's chaos. People are screaming, hitting the floor. A security guard slowly backs out the front doors, turns, sprints away.
All right, calm down. Yo, everybody calm down. Do what I say, and nobody gets hurt.
Dina army crawls into the back offices.
This is what I trained for.
Yo, I'm gonna start killing somebody every minute unless
He takes off his mask. It's Bo. He turns to Cheyenne.
you agree to marry me, Cheyenne. Yo, hit it.
At the intercom area, a teenager pulls Garrett's wheelchair away from the system, hooks up his
man,
iPhone.
what the fuck?
We hear Marry Me by Jason Derulo. A bunch of the customers, teenagers break into a poorly choreographed, cheesy flash mob dance sequence with Bo. Everyone's stunned, not in a good way. Amy shakes her head like, you've got to be kidding me. Jonah turns to her.
I had nothing to do with this.
Yeah, no, I know. This is the fault of YouTube.
Bo breaks into a rap.
Yo, heard you want to walk down the aisle. Heard your baby needs a daddy. We've been banging for a while. All right, I pay the consequences of my actions. Don't try to change me, because I'm a man of action, yo.
Nearby,
What a show!
I should say, Glenn turns to some employees near him.
What a show!
The backroom security area. A bank of monitors with feeds from the cameras. Dina, still thinking they're being robbed, is on the phone with 911. She opens a handgun case, assembles the weapon. She can see Bo on the monitors without sound.
I'm calling to report a code green in progress. I repeat, a code green.
What's a code green?
I faxed you a list of the codes last month. Hostage situation. You need to get SWAT down here right now.
At the front of the store, Bo's rap has by this point lost any thread of marriage. Glenn's bouncing slightly to the beat. Jonah looks at Amy.
When are we as people gonna learn? We gotta get burned. We're just waiting for our turn. Yo, hashtag Black Lives Matter, y'all.
Garrett reacts.
Okay, all right, yo, simmer down. If you like what you heard and saw, I'm currently seeking representation in all areas, also modeling, so, just throwing that out there and stuff. All right, yo, peace out, St. Louis.
And he starts to leave.
Bo.
What? Oh, yeah, my bad. Sorry, yo.
He gets down on one knee.
Cheyenne Tyler Lee, will you marry me? Or are you just gonna be like a dick about it?
Go to the backroom security area. Dina sees Bo on his knees in front of Cheyenne and gasps.
Oh, I think he's about to shoot a hostage. I'll do what I can do.
Don't do anything.
But Dina hangs up. She opens the circuit breaker panel, flips the switches. In the front of the store, the lights all go out, and we're on Amy as she audibly gasps. And we reveal the entire ceiling of this block-wide superstore has been covered in glow-in-the-dark stars. This is no longer where you buy your toilet paper. It's been transformed into someplace magical, romantic, and utterly spectacular. Everyone stares quietly, looking up in childlike wonder. Finally, Amy rips her gaze from the ceiling, turns to Jonah, who isn't watching the stars, he's watching her. He shrugs, smiles sheepishly.
What is this?
Moment of beauty?
And as Cheyenne also looks around at the store. As Cheyenne also looks at the store, her breath taken away by the beauty of it all, we cut to outside in the parking lot at night. All our characters are celebrating in the parking lot after closing, having drinks between the cart return corral and a parked car.
To Cheyenne.
Cheers.
May your marriage be as sweet as the colorful as this Cloud9 brand caffeinated malt beverage without the recall for killing all the college students.
Oh, thank you on behalf of myself and Bo.
They look at Bo, who's handcuffed on the curb with the police.
Well, he did make it memorable. I'll give him that.
I mean, most guys don't even bother threatening to kill you when they propose.
You were never in any real danger. You know that, right?
Yes, I know. Yes, it was a fake robbery.
Dina holds up a bullet.
This is a high-velocity, 440-grain lead flat-nose projectile with gas checks and a Boxer Prime brass jacket. If it had come within 10 feet of you, you would have seen his head explode like a watermelon.
He gives her a shocked look. She winks.
Clean up an aisle. I don't even know what aisle it is because his brains are splattered all over the sign. Oh, shoot.
And goes on Cheyenne, proudly showing off her ring to Amy.
No, I wish we could wear jewelry at the store.
No, it's so sparkly.
I thought about what you said about not doing something that I might regret, but then in the moment, like under the stars, it just felt right.
She walks over to Jonah.
And without you, I would never have said yes, so thank you.
She kisses him on the cheek. Amy shakes her head.
Well, I should go bail out my boyfriend now, my fiance.
Aww. She runs to join Bo. Amy also starts to walk away.
All right, gotta get going. Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Oh, hey, wait up.
Amy's finishing putting on a necklace as Jonah catches up to her. They have a private moment.
Hey, I didn't mean to. That in there, I just wanted today to feel different from yesterday.
Well, then you failed because this exact same thing happened yesterday. But thank you.
There's a moment of connection. Amy finally breaks it.
Okay, well, I really do have to get going, so see you at work tomorrow, Jonah.
You certainly will, champ.
Amy.
Nice to meet you, Amy.
Losers! Losers!
He watches her as she walks off. It's a moment broken by Garrett wheeling up beside him.
Hey, man, you should come with us, man. We're going to throw some mannequin limbs in the dumpster and watch the garbage man freak out.
That sounds awesome.
It is awesome. Come on.
And we angle on Amy walking to her car, smiling about the day she's had. She puts on another piece of jewelry, her wedding ring. Then she looks back up at the starry night, but Jonah doesn't see it. He's walking with Garrett back to join the rest of the group, a group of people so different from him, but of which he's now a part as we fade out.
Whoa! Justin Spitzer, everybody.
Woo!
All right. Wow.
Wow.
Is this a? Yes, we're.
I should add that that is what's called an as broadcast. So that is essentially the same story that was originally read, but we have a cast of amazing improvisers. So a number of these jokes were jokes that they improvised during the read. I don't think the story changed in any huge way, but
No, not at
but
all.
I don't want people to think that like, oh yeah, these people, they just read word for word what like I write for them every time. It's an incredibly talented cast of improvisers.
Yeah, it was very fun. Did you guys enjoy that? That's cool, right? All right, so we just have 63 more episodes to read. All right. But yeah, now we'll go ahead and move on to the Q&A part. So if anybody has a question.
Bum rush the stage, right? Is that how you
Well,
wanna...
I believe the way that they do it is if you have a question, you can come down, just kind of walk down and stand by that microphone, and we'll just start a line from there. So as people are kind of coming down to get their questions ready. Lauren, I just want to talk a little bit, now that we're fresh with this script in our head, about that last line that you have about the bullet.
God.
Could you
Here's what
tell them a
happened.
little
Best.
bit? Tell them a little bit about the bullet.
So you guys just heard that line where I'm describing the bullet in great detail. Well, what happens when you shoot a TV show is you shoot it from two different sides. So there's a side where your back is to the camera probably, and they're shooting the other people, and then they turn around and get your coverage. So we started with everybody else's coverage. The camera was on my back. Nailed it.
She was
word
incredible.
for word.
Perfect.
Every time. The cameras flip around, so it's my coverage, so I'm the one on camera. Could not say it. Could not say it. I think we got one clean take. It was one of the most embarrassing moments of my career.
And that we were shooting that in a real parking lot at a real Kmart in Burbank.
Yeah.
Which is actually closing right now, that Kmart. So
Colton wanted all of us to chip in to keep the Kmart
You
open.
wanna
that was
buy it.
actually Mark's idea was we should
Mark's
buy the
did.
Kmart
Mark
and
I think it's been
get it
closing for 10 years.
that one has been closing for a long time.
All right, we should open it
But
up.
we do
This
have a
makes me
question right
nervous.
here. Why don't you step up? How you doing?
Hi, good.
Hey,
How are
what's your
you?
name?
Hi, I'm Claire.
Hey, Claire.
Hello, Claire.
Claire.
So what's your question?
So you all must crack each other up every day. So I wanted to know what was the most amount of takes that you needed to get through a scene, and what was that scene? What was so funny about it?
I mean,
The
that's probably an
stories, funny
America
stories.
question.
I ruin everything. I laugh all the time. Like, mainly what I try to do is get out of the frame so that whoever is doing some brilliant performance, I ruin all the best takes. Like, if it's the funniest take, I'm laughing.
You guys, the shows that make it to air are like the third best thing we did that day.
America.
I would also challenge people to go back and check for scenes where someone else is talking and it's on America's back,
Watch
and
her.
just see if she starts to. Just a small laugh.
America. Is there,
True.
in the
I'm the biggest fan of this show. All I do is like sit and watch these brilliant people and laugh.
I think the first season was the magazine
Profile. was
Magazine
gonna-
profile.
Yeah.
There's a scene between you and Mark where you could not get through the scene. And
Where he said someone's a pretty kitty.
Oh,
Yeah. That's what it was.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was so, she's doing this.
Trying to communicate.
Yeah,
like-
aren't you a pretty kitty?
Yeah, you were cracking up so much on that scene. I think the director was getting so mad.
Oh, that
Because we
director
couldn't
got
get
so
through
mad.
it.
Yeah, he didn't come back.
Awesome. Well, there you go. Thanks so much. How about right over here?
Thanks,
We'll
Claire.
go left, right, okay?
Hi. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much for what you do. I'm Marcia. And my question is, because the characters are like you, I'm wondering, like, after reading this first pilot script again, like, if there was somewhere that you wanted your characters to go and what that would be like.
Well, if you notice with Garrett's character, originally in the script, he's not around that much. He just makes announcements, and I would have preferred that continued on.
So lazy.
Because it was really easy.
Mateo wasn't written as a gay Filipino character. Mateo was written as a straight Latino guy. That was the original. Like none of the characters had any specific ethnicities attached to them, except for Mateo's character was supposed to be straight and Latino, and clearly.
You just got hired because your last
Clearly,
name.
they saw me. They're like, yes. But yeah, I mean, thank you for.
That's still how we write him. You're just doing whatever you do.
Wait, listen. When I read the script and I was reading Mateo's lines, I was all like, "This is something a shady queen would say." So that's kind of just how I interpreted the character. And thank God they were like, "Well, turn it into a shady queen."
I'll say the only thing that I want to bring up, because I forced it into interviews and now Spitzer's here so he can hear it firsthand, is that our dream, Americanized dream, is that Amy and Dina went to high school together, and my dream is to see a flashback of them in high school.
We have a huge backstory.
Huge. We've written it ourselves
We've
for no
written
one
it.
else.
Don't you guys have a cheerleading
actually,
dance?
Justin, now would be the time to hand you the
America,
50
you guys
page
have a
document.
dance.
We have a dance.
Yeah, we have a whole thing.
Because we were in drill team together, but we don't
Can
talk
we
about
see the
that.
dance?
Yeah, could you guys show us the dance?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4.
All right. Thank you so much. Let's come on down. You guys can move up a little bit too. How you doing? What's your name?
Hi, my name is Rebecca. I am way too short for this.
Oh, okay. Yeah, this. Yeah, there you go.
It's all good. This question is actually for America. So I wanted to know how different it is from being like on Ugly Betty and the movie you were in. How different is it to be like Amy on the show now as like a Latina y todo?
Yeah. You know, Superstore was the first, Amy was the first role I was ever offered that wasn't written as a Latina. And when I read the script and saw who was being attached, that was something that struck me. Like, Garrett wasn't written black, and none of these characters had any ethnicity attached to them, again, except for Mateo, who they then cast Nico. So, and Amy, it wasn't like, Amy, you know, 30, Latina, and, you know, that sounds like small and inconsequential, but when you spent your entire career only getting roles that have been written into one specific box, it's actually a moment where you go, whoa, I just got offered something that wasn't, you know, written as the firecracker, you know? Meanwhile, I'm a firecracker, but I'd like to not play one every now and then. And I felt like Amy, I mean, there were so many, I already talked about like so many of the reasons why I was attracted to the project, but I felt like Amy was very, very different from Betty, to your question. And also, I loved that she was, you know, for all intents and purposes, this is insanely and the most ensemble cast you could get, but like a leading lady in a love story that didn't feel like she had to be likable and didn't feel like she had to be nice and like she had to be smiling all the time. And Betty was, as you know, such the opposite of that, like just beaming with love and light. And Amy was just like, fuck you, I'm tired, you know? So, and I think like, you know, as women get older, they get fucking tired, you know? And like, they get sick of being told to smile and sick of being told to like be cute and likable and, you know, always have like some deeper meaning to everything they do. And so I was just really attracted to her as an aspect that I, as a woman, was getting more in touch with it myself, of like, what would it be like to not have to walk through the world trying to make everybody comfortable with my existence? And I felt like Amy really held that.
Good. Hey, come on down. How you doing? What's your name?
Hi, my name is Zelina, and my question was silly and self-serving, but
Great.
listening
Go
to
for it.
everyone, I feel like my question has to be much more sophisticated.
It doesn't.
It's not. So I guess my alternative question to my self-serving question.
I think you should ask the self-serving
I want to hear
come
the
on.
original.
I say do it.
I appreciate you, Lauren. My self-serving question was, how do you choose the name for Amy's name tag? Because I would like you to use my middle name as a name tag.
What's your middle name?
It's Dwendina, which is a name that you've never heard of, and maybe Nico is familiar.
Dwendina?
Yes.
That is a Filipino name, girl.
Yes. Yes.
Dwendina.
How do you
So,
spell
put
that?
it in.
How do you spell that?
DWENDYNA. Dwendina.
Okay, done. We're doing it.
Dwendina.
See?
There you go,
You gotta
Dwendina.
ask what's in your
I mean,
heart.
after I check in with Justin, it's done. I don't have the power to do that.
You can do that.
I'm like shaking, and I have a beer in my hand because it's liquid serum truth stuff.
But
so
to
that would
answer
be
your
great.
question, the way that we pick the number one question on Twitter every week. It's so annoying.
Why has Amy got a different name on her name tag every week?
I mean,
Well,
all
you know
the
why
time.
that is that we haven't gone to every city and read the pilot script where you explain it.
After
It's
this
because
tour,
she doesn't like people using her name like they know her, right? That's why. And you know what? Dwendina's going to make it. I believe in it.
All right.
Thank you. Have a great night, everyone.
You too.
You.
Have a heavenly day. Have a heavenly day.
How you doing? What's your name?
Melanie.
Hey, Melanie.
Well, first of all, I want to say I love you guys. I just started watching this year thanks to my girlfriend. She's like obsessed with NBC shows. Anyways, and she
general,
absolutely
just as a brand, NBC
But like
shows.
us the most,
Well, now-
right? We need you to say us the most. 'cause
no, but
NBC's are-
obviously you guys.
Okay, good.
Yeah. I mean, we were in Disneyland for vacation and we were watching Superstore. So
Cool.
priorities.
Sure.
So first, I'd like to say she absolutely hates the fact that Bo's character does a because I do it all the time.
Sorry.
She hates it. No, but actually, I have my question for Mark. So does your Glenn Sturgis voice ever come out at home? Like if you trip
Be
over
specific.
something or mess up something? I don't know.
Yeah, if I really want to irritate my partner, Heather, I will give her directions on how to, like, open a carton of milk by reading the
Oh, gosh. I'd love to hear that.
full
Oh, yeah.
press with index and forefinger. No, hang on. Peel the spout back until a gap appears. Yeah.
Well, and I'll also say this. Mark and I play video games together online. And we'll have microphones, and we play with, like, just a bunch of other people. And every once in a while, when things get intense, if he's, like, excited or, like, stuck in a corner and an alien's going to murder him or something, Glenn will come out and be like, oh, help! The Fallen! It's the Fallen!
Oh my God, it's the Fallen, and they're coming in fast. For all you Destiny fans out there, anyone plays
Everybody
Destiny?
plays Destiny.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you. What's up, buddy? What's your name?
My name is Brody.
Hey, Brody.
So my question is, all of the interstitials of random shoppers in the store are always hilarious, and I'm wondering if there are any that you have thought of that you just didn't use in the show that were ridiculous or funny in any way.
Yeah, well, I mean, we have an ongoing list. They're tricky. We shoot way more than we use because it's such a quick visual pop, and we'll often something in theory it just doesn't play as funny. So yeah, we have lists of ones that we haven't shot. We've got a whole bank of ones we've shot that we haven't used. Some of which are good and we'll use at some point. So we try to have a reservoir going.
One thing that I thought was interesting once is that I went to Walmart one time, or not Walmart, Walgreens, and I was buying, some like deodorant or something, but it was one thing, and the receipt was like, like 2 yards long, and I like walked out, and I think I immediately texted you, and I was like, you got to do something about these receipts, and then there is an episode at one point where like this receipt just keeps printing out, and the person's bought like one tiny thing.
Thank you.
Thanks, Brody.
Come on down. How you doing? What's your name?
My name is Phoebe.
Hey, Phoebe.
Hi. So my question is kind of like for anyone, but even though the characters are really like some of your personalities, is there anything that you like say or do when you like first start shooting that like helps you get in character?
Yeah.
I always say ring-a-ling-a-ding-dong. But like the bow voice, that's how I go like, ring-a-ling-a-ding-dong.
When I mean, not to get into character, but like usually when we get into like a giggle fit and we can't stop laughing, I usually say dead puppies, dead puppies, dead puppies to like make me like, I'm sorry, but that's what brings me like, stops me from cracking up. That is the one thing that breaks up the laughter. I know it's really dark and mean, you guys, but.
You know, for me, as cheesy as it is, it's when I put on the vest, it feels like I'm going to work. And I don't know if you guys do it, but like when you actually are putting on, and we have a great costume department for the show. But you know, for me, it's like putting on the vest, and I actually wore some of Garrett's shoes for you guys tonight. Garrett wears a new pair of Jordans every episode. So for a fun Easter egg, try to see what shoes he's wearing. But for me, it's when I get dressed in the morning on the set, and not until I put that vest on, and I really feel like, all right, I'm going to work. Here we go.
For me, it's the hair. Like, if my hair is down, it feels really weird. And there's sometimes when Dina's hair is down, and those are the days that I'm like, oh, I gotta like check in with like what's going on. That's why I was like, put my hair up tonight, because it's weird. It just feels odd not to be back.
I just roll my eyes 3 times and I'm ready.
Awesome, thank you. Hey, how you doing? What's your name?
My name is Myra. First of all, I love the show. I just started watching it this week, so I don't know why it took me this long.
4 years, huh? 4 years.
Oh, yeah, this week. Okay.
I've always known about it. I have no idea.
What's that book you have in your hand there?
Yes, so
Oh,
here's
boy.
a short story. So one of the things that I love doing when I go out in the city is going to the bookstore, but I have so many books that I still haven't read that I was like, you know, I have to like calm down. But today we went to the bookstore, and my fiance, who I think like made this all happen on purpose, was like, hey, did you see this book? And I was like, I've been wanting to read that, right? Like, it's on my list. And so I started reading it, and I was like, I'm sorry, I know I'm not supposed to buy any books. Like, that's a promise that I made myself, but I was like, I can't, I have to buy it. And so I started reading it, and I was wondering if you would sign it.
It's America's book, everybody.
I will read it. I mean, I will. Yes, I will sign it.
Yes.
For you.
Thank you.
Here, you can leave it here. Oh, or should I do it now? Here, ask the next question.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead and sign that book. You guys can pick up American Like Me. It's a wonderful book. It is amazing. You know, and I'll even say that one fun thing about this book is, you know, America actually sent a copy to all of us. And I had my family in town for Thanksgiving. And one by one throughout the week of Thanksgiving, a different family member, like, read the book. And then we'd be like, this is great. And they'd give it to my mom-in-law. And then she's like, oh, I read it. And then there's great. So it's great, and even old people like it. So check it out. Hey, come on down. Oh, you're already there. Nice, bro. What's your name?
Nate.
Nate?
So my question is also about the interstitials. They're so great because, you know, they're funny, they're short, but they're just unbelievable enough that you could imagine to actually happen somewhere. So I was wondering if any of them are influenced or inspired. You mentioned the receipt story, but any others that are inspired by things that have actually happened in
The
stores?
funnest thing to do is go to a superstore, any kind, and just start watching people. And you'll be like, oh, Superstore is way too tame for like what happens in these stores. It's really fun to watch like the little bits that you can imagine being our interstitials.
Do you do that? Do you go to stores and just watch
I
people?
text you all the time, and you never use any of mine. Good to know that Colton got his. I was in like a Walmart in Dallas, and some guy was pushing a cart and put like a pillow that he hadn't paid for down on the cart, and his daughter was just like sleeping in the cart. Remember, I took a picture and sent it to you, and you didn't use it.
It's in the pilot we just read. There was a stroller with the stuff on it.
But she was sleeping in the cart.
Okay.
I'll say this.
That and the name.
When I wrote an episode in season 3, and I had written a couple interstitials, and what I learned the hard way was they have to be so fast. Like, you have to be able to get it so fast. Because the ones that I wrote that I don't think ended up making it were based on when I really worked in a Superstore in Canada, and I worked in the footwear department, and people would come and try on shoes and then walk out and leave their old shoes. But then, this is real, one time a lady picked up the old discarded shoes, tried them on, and then tried to buy them. And they were like, there's no UPC. And I remember getting called to the front of the store and being like, those are garbage shoes. So I had written something like that, and I had tried to work it, but it was too many beats. Like, it was too long. But anyway, so there.
Thank you.
All right, come on down.
Hi.
Hey, what's your name?
Lila.
Hey, Lila.
So I'm super Star-struck right now, so apologies if I like trip over my words or anything. But my question is for Nico. Hi. I know you're a member of the LGBT community. You and your husband are so adorable. I love you guys so much. I just
Boyfriend, let's not.
Sorry. Oh, I'm sorry.
Do it now! Do it now! Do it now! Do it now! Now's the time. Do it now!
There's no hardware yet.
Yeah.
My bad. I'm sorry. Anyway, but I was wondering if your sexuality has ever been like, have you ever had your sexuality like taken advantage of like in this kind of community or workspace, like kind of like in the acting community?
If I've ever had my
sexuality like ever taken advantage of like in a role, or like have you ever been like in a
taken
situation?
advantage of in the role?
In a role, like I don't know if I'm speaking correctly, but like do you ever like, get stereotyped or whatever?
Well,
for
I mean,
that
like,
kind of stuff?
you know, it was very important for me, especially for Mateo, to be visibly queer. Like, I just hate. I was just talking about this with the Advocate magazine. Like, a lot of femme characters are sort of like put aside and like, oh, like that's so stereotypical. Like a femme gay guy is stereotypical, and I'm always like, a femme gay guy is not stereotypical. Like those are real people that exist out in the world, and just because they're femme does not make them a stereotypical person. It bothers me so much that one particular trait is all of a sudden like, oh God, they're that type of gay, right? And you know, I'm like, as far as me being a person of color, I can't hide that, but it's important for me to play characters that are visibly femme or visibly queer to normalize their place in society, and for people to be like, you know. I just there was a very long time like in the 90s where gay characters were like had to be like masculine and white and all that, and I'm like, listen, I'm brown, I'm queer, like I want most of the characters I play to be unapologetically queer, because you know what, time's up.
Time's up. All right.
Yeah.
That's really awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, guys. So we are running out of time. We only have time for 2 more questions. I'm so sorry. But you know what? I feel like the cast will be more than happy. Some of us will be hanging around outside after the show, so feel free to come up to us and talk to us. But over here, let's try to bang it out here. We got you, and then we'll get you, little buddy. What's your name?
Hi, my name is Annie.
Hi, Annie.
First of all, I love you all. I love the show. So my question is about a possible crossover with any other NBC sitcoms, like, you know, Brooklyn Nine-Nine, The Good Place, and I know that in Good Girls they even go to Superstore or Cloud 9. So I was just.
Law and Order. There was a crossover with the Good
created
Girls,
that
right?
There a few different I mean, Mindy Project, they went on to Cloud 9. I think I Feel Bad, they did. Good Girls, they did last year. Again this year, I wouldn't say because, but the creator of that show is my wife. So that makes it a very, I don't know, it's a family thing. So they'll be coming back. I don't know.
But no, we're not going to like be
Oh, in terms
on
of
Will
actual,
and
sorry.
Grace.
Yes. No, I don't.
Because we're in St. Louis, so how do we get Brooklyn Nine-Nine to St. Louis?
You can.
I mean, it's like they can go to their respective Cloud 9.
Yes.
You know? But then we wouldn't be there.
I'd
What's
like
the
to
point?
see This Is Us.
Yeah, we've talked
Come.
about this.
Yeah. I'm dead serious. What I want to see is there's a quick beat in an episode, and they get to be super funny in our show, but then you see it in their show, and it's super dramatic, like the exact same moment. That's my dream.
That would be awesome.
Jonah dies in the one. I was like, Jonah died. Oh no, he smoke inhalation. So we'll try to get some crossovers.
So look for us on This Is Us. Yeah.
Thank you.
All right, my dude. Here's our final question. Come on up, buddy. Oh, a team. I like this team question. Very nice. Doing it as a family.
I'm Marie, and this is Nico, and this is Winter.
Oh, hey, Nico and Winter.
I watched the show because they watched the show. They're really into it. And their question was actually to Bo, or the gentleman playing Bo. They love his character.
I'm Bo.
And they're really interested in your inspiration, especially for the wah, wah, wah noise, but also just in general, they really like your character.
Well, the pretty much comes from like hip hop mixtapes. There's this thing some DJ made a couple years ago called CVS Bangers. If you know about it, you know about it. It's basically like songs you hear at the drugstore, but like they put a trap horn over it, so you hear like "Lady in Red." So I don't know. I just thought that was funny, so I just learned to do the horn. Because I did it on this other show, like this cartoon, as a cartoon character for this character Peanut. But otherwise, Bo is basically just like everyone ever played Xbox Live with. Yeah.
Awesome. Hey.
Can I just say one thing?
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm so sorry. There was 2 people that dressed up.
The costumes, they're over here.
Can you guys stand up real quick? I just wanted to acknowledge you
We
because it's
saw you.
awesome.
We want to see. We want to see. We want to see.
Where's the other one?
Come.
Hey.
Yes.
Come.
Come up
Or
here.
they should come up.
Oh my God. Woo! Yes. Ah.
Shut up, Sandra.
All right, guys, thanks so much for coming out. Give it up, Mike Moran, Johnny Pemberton, Nicole Bloom, Nico Santos, Lauren Ash, Mark McKinney, Ben Feldman, America Ferrera, Justin Spitzer. I'm Colton Dunn. Thanks so much for coming out, everybody. Have a wonderful time at Sketchfest. We'll see you outside.